YouTube? Power Bricks back with another Lego Megazord review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Oceanjin. Now I know it's been a long time, guys, but that's totally my fault. I've been moving and I had to have my toys stored up for a while, but I got them back out. Now I'm in a stable location in another house, and reviews will come more frequently, I hope. So most definitely they probably will, but here we are with a fresh new set, very refreshing. Now this set here is probably one of my most extreme builds because of what it can do. Now it's 5 Zords. As you see, we have the red great white, the blue narwhal, the green manta ray, the pink dolphin, and we have, or the white dolphin, and then we have the yellow not barracuda, the angular fish. And by the way, guys, I'm a little sick, so I'm really trying to bust this out for you guys because I'm really excited and I have a lot more builds coming. So watch out for those. So right now, we're just going to quickly just jump into this set and I'm going to show you what it can do. So here is the great red shark. Now red Zord, and this one is really, really unique because of the way that just the overall design is. I didn't actually think I could pull this off with a shark, but it definitely did pull off. And it came out great. Now we're just gonna get a good look at his face and just all the detail you have there with the Lego. You got the opening mouth, and of course there's an anchor on his tongue. Really just a whole lot going on. And then I got some Gundam markers and just painted gold there. But just overall, the entire Zord as a whole is really nice. But the articulation that we have here for this, you get articulation here in the fins and the mouth. That's all you get. His tail, it stays. His body doesn't really do anything but move, but that's for transformation, and I don't want to spoil that for you guys. But that's pretty much all this guy can do besides just be a shark. He's there, he serves his purpose, is what he's supposed to be, and that's all. So next up is Blues, and this one is piloted by a female, and I think it came out great. It's a blue narwhal. Who doesn't like narwhals? If you haven't seen one, look it up. This has some jet thrusters in the back. Also has a kind of rotatable drill spear nose thingy. It has this little mechanism at the top that just spins around, but that doesn't do anything but make flashing colors and deliver ice cream. But other than that, this is the blue narwhal. It's a solid brick, but it is pretty big too, also in comparison to reds. It's probably, you know, pretty much there in size. But other than that, that's pretty much all the blue can do. It can just sit here just like red and be a fish because it's a Megazord fish and it's Lego and it's cool. But that's all. So we have green, and here is his giant manta ray, and this one is, I think, the biggest out of the entire set, with Wise. But the shark still probably stands at number 1. Really odd design. I know you guys are looking like, what the heck is that? So here's supposedly his mouth, and these are his eyes. Back here are the articulated flippers, and his eyes are also articulated. They're on some little hinges there, but you can see where his eyes are, his entire body. And then, you know, you have his tail back there, and it's all sandwiched together. It holds okay, pretty nicely. You'll see how it works very soon when transformation comes, but that's pretty much it. And size comparison, we'll compare him to a smaller one, which is yellow, since it's next, and that's it. And since yellow is in the shot, we can take out green and we can just get on with yellow. So yellow is the angler fish, and it's that little fish from Finding Nemo with the huge jaws and that color light. That's what this is. This is what I tried to do to make it into a Zord. So please bear with me, guys. This is what I'm dealing with. So pretty much it's just a simple solid yellow, gray, black, gold design to follow up with the rest of the Zords, and that's it. It doesn't have any articulation besides this thing being posable and its tail being able to pivot, sort of move in a sense. So that's all yellow can do. And that's pretty much it for this shot. So last but not least is our white dolphin, or pink dolphin. And this is the Zord of the Pink Ranger, or white. I was going to say, let's just say White Ranger. The White Ranger Zord. So this is it, a dolphin. It's very simple. I didn't want to make it super complex, but it does work for what it does. So you get head articulation there, I guess, you know, sort of a dolphin movement. You get the tail. It's on a ball joint. And then you also have the little small fins there. But that's pretty much it. And in size comparison, we shall get the great red shark and put them next to each other. And you can clearly see that this dolphin is extremely large compared to the shark. The shark, it looks absolutely like a shrimp compared to this thing. So that's one thing for size comparisons. Dolphins are much bigger than sharks, and you can't say anything about that because that's the laws of nature. But other than that, I can get into the transformation of this guy. As you guys must have guessed, that green is going to become the legs. If you haven't guessed that, then oh well. But it's pretty simple to transform this guy. You just split him apart. Once you split him, you take out his tail, and this becomes a weapon. So you can set that to the side. And now that you have this cluster mess of eyes and fins, you're going to just get one of the legs and close it up. No, close this up here like that, and then flip that backwards. Stand up the peg, and there's a leg. You repeat the same process with this one, and there are your legs of the Zord. Now must I mention that this set here has a few modes. Now, this Zord has a total of 3 modes, and right now, I believe it's 3 modes. Yeah, the Zord has a total of 3 or 4 modes. I can't really remember, but we're going to go through all of them, and the first mode consists of 3 Zords, blue, red, and green. So we're going to get blue, and we're just going to first take off this piece here, not the white piece, but this little piece here comes off. Then we're going to just pull that off, and we're going to pull off the nose. Now once we pull off those parts, we can then come to the whale, split it apart, and you reach here, and you're just going to want to pull these down. Once you pull down those sockets, you can then use these as arms. So the way it works is you're going to get the drill and simply just plug it in there, and there's one of the arms. And we can just, leave that up like that. And then you're going to get that giant thing, and it forms like this sandwich claw hand. And you have these 3 pieces left. So it forms arms. Boom. Next up, we're going to get red. And this transformation is very interesting, guys. So, yes, they are parts formers in their way, but they do transform and kind of fold and stuff. So we're just going to pull off the tail first, and then next we're going to pull off the back fin. Then you're going to come to the top and pull off this top dorsal fin. So once you pull off all the fins, you do have a finless shark. So you're going to raise these fins here on the front, and you're just going to pull this entire section down. Once you do that, you get this here, rotate it, and it should be able to fit into a groove. But I think that happens once I rotate both sides forward. Then, there we go. You have to position it a certain way, and then boom, you get that folded down like that. And then here you get this fin and plug it on the back. And the tail you set to a side because it's also a weapon. But once you do that, we can save this fin because this becomes another part of a weapon. So we're going to put that to the side. And here you have the upper torso of the Zord. So now we can reach to the others and connect them together. So let me get some space because this does get a little tall. So first, we're going to get these sockets here. And this joint peg goes into that socket. There. And then now he's standing up, as you may see. So, I'm going to raise my camera, so excuse me guys for the shakiness, but raise it a little bit. And so once we raise it up, we're then going to get this piece here and just attach it. Same with this side, attach it. And then we come to that little spinner that attaches here. And then we come to this little piece and we flip it up. And thy forms the head. Maybe we should push it back a little bit. Right there. And there is the head. So here he is, Deluxe Oceanjin, fully merged up. And must I say, it is a very big Zord indeed. The proportion is very interesting, the front. But overall, it did come out exactly as I planned. Just another whole approach to Super Sentai in general. That's what I was going for with this set, alongside with just a new color scheme, you know, with the white, blue, and green. Just something that has never been introduced before. Now, articulation-wise, you do have ratchet joints, so the arms can't go full 360 like normal Super Sentais. Mecha should. It has a rotating drill hand, and by raising that up, you can open that treasure chest, and it becomes guns, missiles. There is the Wheel of Fortune on this guy's chest, so you can rotate it around, and whatever color lands on the top, I guess. You can open this up, and it can have a huge gun. And I can just bring it up a little closer for you guys to see. He can use these as guns, and the drill hands, you can also see how that looks. I can't really rotate too much, but you get the idea, right? But another thing that he can do, sort of like I was thinking of Gokaiger, was when you can open up all the guns, and you can sort of just like send out this massive attack or something. I don't know, let me raise the arms. Maybe something like this, and just unleash a massive attack. I don't know. Like a move like that. That's sort of what I was like going for. But honestly, who knows exactly what I was going to do with it. But we can just close it all back up. And that leads us right back to the Zord itself in all of its glory. And I've actually had this guy built for quite some time. I just never really got a time to review it. So excuse me, I almost dropped my camera. But yeah, while I get my camera straightened out, you can just take a little look at this guy and really just understand where exactly I was coming from for this overall design. Now, I did tell you that he does have additional modes, so we can actually get into that now. So, in order to get this guy into his second mode, what we're going to do first is take off, and I just completely dropped it, but we're going to take off these pieces, his little hand doohickeys. And then we're going to get his entire arm section and rotate it around. And I almost forgot, you also pull off the tail fins for this formation, and these also become weapons. So we can adjust the camera again once more. You can rotate these upwards, and then you get his fins, and you can bring them up like so. So now once that we have this done, we can then set them to the side and get ready for the first formation. So we're going to form it with yellow. So we bring yellow in, and we simply just detach this entire section, close this up, and that becomes a claw. Then we get this here and rotate it, and this becomes a sword. So we then, So we then come to Oceanjin, and we do the magic here. we get this peg, and that socket goes into the peg, like so. And then we come to the other side and repeat the process. Now once we do that, we then have Ocean Warrior complete and ready with elbow articulation. Yay! That adds more functionality to the toy. He also gets this claw, so I guess that's also pretty cool, because what Zord isn't cool without claws? But that's pretty much just it. That's all that I really had planned for that formation. There was nothing super serious, nothing really mind-blowing that I wanted to do. Just something simple like that just makes the overall change and feel of the toy a little more better for me. Now, as the viewers, I do sometimes I do sometimes think that I can, what is going on with my English? I need to wake up. I do sometimes wish that I can make a tutorial on how to do these, but that's very time consuming, and I don't really know how I do it. I just do it. So anyway, no more Nike quotes for the day. We can just go on with the next formation. So we're gonna just leave this on, take that off, and we come to our special swimming friend, the dolphin. So we're gonna set the Zord aside, and we're gonna come to our little dolphin friend and get it all transformed. So the way we do this is we just pull off the head. We're gonna get the entire section and rotate it around and close that up. And that is now a hand, fist. And this goes somewhere else. And we're gonna get into that because there actually is 4 modes. I just remembered. So we're gonna set that head to the side. We're going to set this to the side also. And we're going to come back to the Zord. And we're just going to set the other weapons to the side. There's a lot of kibbles to the side. So we're going to come to the Zord itself and just plug in the pink arm. And here is the completed version of Oceanjin. Right there. You know, I don't really know exactly what else to say about it besides it's finished. There you go. You get the same amount of articulation, you get elbow, and you get a little wrist movement. So we can throw jabs and claws and all that kind of stuff. And he can also get an axe. So we're going to give it to him. May I get his axe? He has a series of weapons, by the way. You get that there. You can just plug that in his arm, boom. Now it's Oceanjin with an axe. And for size comparison, must I may, I will move my tripod back, because I have to stand up for this. These guys are really big. So we're just going to move this guy to the side, and boom. Now we have, I can't remember what I even called that Zord. But here they are in comparison. These guys are freaking huge. And if that's not enough, I will go get another toy. We can get my Gao King, a Wild Force Megazord. Right there. And that's all of them in size comparison, guys. You be the judge. We all know that the Gao King is pretty small. So these guys, of course, are going to tower over him. And weight-wise, these, I don't know, they're just heavy. But that's it for that, guys. We're going to actually get back to the review because all the size comparison is just time-consuming. So we're going to build up that weapon that I was talking about. So must I may bring the camera back up. And we're just going to do a raw review. I'm not going to do too much editing. So I just want you guys to get the overall feel of the toy, just in a real perspective. So, pretty much what we're going to do for this weapon is we're going to come down here, bring the camera on down there, and we're going to get this tail fin and just plug it on to the other tail, I guess. Okay? And once we do that, we can take Oceanjin. We can pull off that. Place it there. It becomes a part of his little staff thingy. And we can, whoops, I just literally flicked his entire claw off. But we can place that weapon in his hand if it can fit. I don't know if it's gonna fit for the video. But there we go. Yes, it fits. So now he has the double axe thing, if it would hold. But you guys get what I was going for. The double axe thing. And you can also place this dolphin head here on top of the shark, and that just adds more notation to the Zord. But that is it, guys, for this review. I want to give you guys a little closer look again. And this is Power Bricks signing off.